Nikola Tesla fed pigeons here. So did Harry's mom. I remember her bringing us. Wish I could tell Harry, but he's not answering calls, texts, anything.
I got him.
Lee's using these guys as sleeper agents.
Okay, so
Call this guy an ambulance. Hope they can help him.
okay, so if people get corrupted by Lee, he can corrupt them later on command, like a hive mind. Because sleeper agents is a term that you would use saying, like, you know, you activate it later. So I guess if you're corrupted for good. At least that's the way it seems. What's my favorite Marvel superhero? It's easily Spidey, man. Spider-Man for Marvel, Batman for DC. I love his powers, his story, the universe. And plus also, like, Spider-Man has his own universe, like all the other different slight versions of Spider-Man telling, so the story's never the same. You can have several mini stories that you all like. And that's just a cool concept to me. The original one with Peter Parker's great. The ones with Spider-Man Miles Morales is great. And there's even some other ones like, you know, Spider-Gwen and, like, you know... I even liked how in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse they had, like, all the other ones. Like, the pig one and the mecha one and the noir one. I think you get the noir one even has a skin in here, which is sweet. Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen with Harry. Because Peter's been, like, talking about how he's, like, ghosting him. Is Harry in on this with his dad? Or, like, against his will, maybe?
A stray shopping cart dents your car. You take it to the auto body shop, only that shop is a front for a drug lord called Tombstone, and he and Spider-Man have decided to have a power struggle at that precise moment. Sir, tell us the rest.
I start to go in and I see Spider-Man fighting this massive guy with fangs like a shark.
That would be one Lonnie Lincoln, a.k.a. Tombstone. Did it seem they were fighting over drug profits or merchandise? I understand there's talk of a new drug that turns its users into zombies.
I don't know what it was about. I got my ass out of there.
Sir, I understand you've been through a lot, but please refrain from using that kind of language. This is a family show.
Sorry. Anyway, I'm glad I split, because pretty soon, the cops and firefighters are there.
Ah, the real heroes. What a relief. I think we can all use a happy...
I like how that Jameson refrains from swearing, but yet he'll say, like, every other horrible, like, manslaughter word that you can think of, like, that destroys anyone's characteristic of identity at all. Being like, murder! Serial killer! Thief! The kidnapper! Like, all these, like, horrible labels, and yet he doesn't want, like, the word ass.
Jared, get rid of him!
Hey Pete, this lab monitors
Why is
the
it
health
suddenly
of
day
marine
now?
life, and we've got a bunch of medicine on site if you need it. But the effects these diseases have, they are not something any living creature should go through.
Looks like there's a bacterial infection in the fish. I better take care of it before the food supply's contaminated. Found an antibacterial spray in the lab that should heal the fish. I just need to spray it over the water. Fast, before people start getting sick. First step, get to the docks. I bet whatever's in those barrels caused the problem. Gotta get him out of the water. Just call me your friendly neighborhood garbage man.
So get the barrels out of the water. Got ya.
These barrels are smarter than some of the guys I usually fight.
Okay. Barrels out of the way.
Now that it's clear, this is a perfect spot to spray. If I spread it evenly, the water currents will take it far and wide. Gotta cover a wide area.
You know, it's funny.
The
After,
fish has spread it to other fish, which is good. There's not much for me to swing from further out. Based on
I was gonna say is that like Sacrifice was my favorite DLC campaign. My favorite DLC campaign is probably Coldstream and Left 4 Dead 2. At least Left 4 Dead 2. Left 4 Dead 1 is probably the Sacrifice. But yeah, like when it comes to like this game, like little things like this, like the spraying the fish, I feel like if you were to incorporate this in any other older game, it'd be like a lot harder for some reason. Like I'm not trying to say that older games are always inherently harder, but like when I like see here's the thing is I have a whole bunch of collectible like old retro consoles. I have the original Xbox. My Xbox 360 I've had since it, like was the main console, but it's old now. I got the Xbox One under my bed. I got the NES, SNES, N64, GameCube, Wii U, PS1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Although technically the PS5 is the new console, so the retro one would be PS4 and before. And I also have a Genesis Mini and a Atari 2600 Mini. So I got a lot of old retro consoles, and playing old games aren't necessarily always hard, but I've noticed that a lot of older games, especially like the 80s and 90s ones, they made the games a lot harder to beat because really, like unless a game, like an old game is either popular enough that they have tutorials on it in modern day, get remastered, or they end up becoming like remade, like basically brought into the mainstream media again. Basically all you had to rely on back then was either word of mouth, your own experience, or the manual. And if you're trying to go back to those old games rather than experiencing them for the first time like back then, you really have sometimes a struggle unless the game is easier to like figure out how to beat it, because I'm playing like some old PS1 games at the moment right now. And keep in mind, as I played a game on pretty much everything. I played on everything except for my PS. I haven't played a PS2 or 3 game, but I've been playing a crap ton of PS1 recently. And I played some NES and SNES games, but I've yet to play any N64 or GameCube ones. Well, I technically played one GameCube one, but it wasn't a single player game. It was just Melee for Smash. And then I have yet to play any original Xbox, but I have played them before, just not on these my copies. I played them with like cousins and like family members and friends from back in the day when I was younger. And I'll tell you this is that if you didn't grow up in those times, or if you don't have the means to like figure out how to beat them, sometimes they're very difficult and frustrating to beat. It's really a trial by error thing. Like, see, modern games, I feel like the last gen, like the Xbox One, PS4, and the Wii U, and then onward now with the Switch, the Series X, and the PS5, and to a certain degree the PS3 and Xbox 360 and the Wii, but not fully, depending on what the game was. But I'd say you could say it's fair. Okay, so let's say PS3, Xbox 360, and the Wii, and onward, those games were more friendly about telling you how to get past some confusing stuff. Keep in mind, there's some really fucking confusing steps in some of these games, but most modern games in the last decade or so, 2 decades or so, even if they're complicated, they at least give you the ways to beat them because now the internet. But if you didn't know how to beat a game back in the day, or if there's not a proper way to look it up on the internet, because we're all so used to looking up on the internet, some games are hard to fucking beat, man. It's like, do this one obscure move, but we're not going to tell you how to do the move based off the button input, and we're not also going to tell you how to get the button input because it's in a manual that you don't have, and you should have had the manual. It's just being like, oh, thanks, fuck me.
water currents. There's another area I need to hit.
That's the worst case example, but I'm just kind of being a little bit ranty just from my recent experience trying to play the old games. Like, for example, I played on the PS1 recently. In fact, I can even just grab it real quick if you guys don't mind. Just give me a sec. Because I've always grown up as a Nintendo guy, and then after I grew up with Nintendo, I became an Xbox guy. So really, this is now my time to shine for both PlayStation and PC. So that's why I've been playing a lot of PlayStation games. So as much as I'm playing the PS5, I'm playing the PS1. So here, I'll show you. I have, for PS1 games, I actually beat this just recently. This was the easiest example, so this is not complicated. It's not the original box, but I had the PS1 Spider-Man game, and this was a lot of fun. I beat this in 2 days, or in this case, really, like, over the span of, like, 2 hours, like, 1 hour for each day, because it's really not that long. Really, any of these games really weren't that long, but the story was great, and this was very fun and easy. It's basically a kid's game. And so they instructed you what to do a lot of the time. They basically had the tutorials mounted into the gameplay and the storytelling. Same thing kind of here, but this is a lot less obvious. But a harder game example, I'll show you. at least these other few games, because I've yet to play some of these other ones. But here are some other ones I also own. I've got the original Tomb Raider for PS1, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1. I'm currently trying to beat the original Crash Bandicoot, and I've yet to play this Metal Gear Solid game, this double disc box, Tactical Espionage Action Metal Gear Solid. It's a 2-disc game. Back when we used to have 2 discs games. I feel like the 360 and the PS3 was the last generation to do that, double discs. But yeah, like I said, I'm trying to beat Crash right now. And Crash, I've heard Crash is actually quite hard. Like, I heard that Crash is one of the hardest games on the PS1, but I don't know what it is, but I've had a fine time with it. Sure, there's some really complicated and annoying parts, but to the way that they stress it, I really don't think so. Although I will say this, is that these two right here, Tony Hawk and fucking Tomb Raider, even though I have both their manuals, and I've seen them be played on YouTube before, and I've looked up guides for both of these, I had a really fucking hard time trying to play these. Because, let me grab a PS1 controller. So, the PS1 controller looks like this. It's nothing like the PS5, but if you played the PS3 or 2, you'll recognize this layout design, because the PS1 to 3 had the same controller scheme, minus a couple things like rumble and the plug-in. And then also the fact that the original PS1 third select controllers don't have thumbsticks. But this is a PS1 controller, and I have the one that has the analog sticks. Now, the original PS1 controller does not have analog sticks, so I want you to keep that in mind. Imagine a PS1 controller, or PS2 or 3, whatever you want, and take away the analog sticks. So it's just the grips, D-pad bumpers, triggers, start select, and then the face buttons. So you're kind of holding it more like this, and you use the D-pad for a lot of the movement in the game. So even though this was the first era of like 3D games with the Sega Saturn, the PS1, and like the N64, a lot of games really didn't understand how to control games with a D-pad for 3D. So without the thumbsticks, even though they did fix that later, most of the old games that they had, such as Tony Hawk and Tomb Raider, the thumbsticks served little to no use or just didn't work. In fact, actually, fun fact for you: if you try to play Crash Bandicoot or Tomb Raider, and you like it's funny, you have to turn on the analog stick. You have to use a button. But if you try to use analog sticks on both of these games, the game doesn't work. It pauses and won't unpause until you disable it. You have to play it with a D-pad. And so a 3D movement game with only a D-pad, you can see where this is going. It's so hard to maneuver. And it's not like, for example, like a good console I can think of that had a lot of 3D games as much as it had 2D and used a D-pad was like the DS. But even then, that was not nearly as bad. But like, I'll tell you this, is that going back to Tomb Raider and Tony Hawk for a second, even though Tony Hawk you could use the analog sticks, they really weren't meant for it, and they were way too slow or sensitive at points. Like, you can tell this really wasn't meant to be like a 3D operated system at the time, and the analog sticks were just kind of like a bonus. It really didn't become a thing till the PS2. Trying to use the analog sticks on Tony Hawk was so hard because the game's camera was not meant for such precision aiming, so it was used to the clunkiness of the D-pad, and trying to make those micro adjustments with this, you overcorrected yourself a lot, and the thumbsticks messed you up more, in my opinion. And the problem is, though, is that with the D-pad, even though that works more better, it got way too tedious. You would have to like have precise inputs, because little micro mistakes would get you to fall off your board or flip and you know, not get right combos. And trying to get this game, Tony Hawk, by the way, if you're trying to get combos, I even looked up videos, and I even looked up the manual. And even though the game has been remastered and there's modern videos on it, that's the modern version of the game that's meant for a PS4 or 5 controller. And they changed the inputs and made the controller... The controls are just genuinely better on that game. And so it would be naturally easier to understand the controls. Trying to do this, the PS1 version with the PS1's controls, you either overcorrect or undercorrect no matter what you do. And so you just have to get used to those controls. And I got as far as, like, the 3rd mission, and I just, after that, it got basically, like, so goddamn frustrating. And then I'll tell you this. Tomb Raider 1, the original PS1 Tomb Raider 1. Oh my fucking god, this thing is horrible with the controls. I swear to god, like, so I want to get into the Tomb Raider franchise. I want to get into the Tony Hawk franchise, the Crash Bandicoot franchise, and the Metal Gear franchise. These are all games I've never played before on any other console. I thought I'd go back to somewhat of their older, this isn't the oldest version, like, for example, Metal Gears from the SNES, or sorry, the NES. But I know Tomb Raider, Crash, and Tony Hawk did get around their start here on the PS1-ish era, 90s. And I want to play the first iterations of this. And oh my fucking god, the original PS1 Tomb Raider. And I found out that even Tomb Raider all the way up to the PS2, like, as late as, like, the final installment of the original storyline, like, I think Angel of Darkness, which was the last Tomb Raider game of the original story, that was when they finally got rid of the jank controls, because all the original Tomb Raiders before that, the fucking controls gave me an aneurysm. Like I said, it's one of the games you can't use the thumbsticks no matter what you want to do, so you have to use the D-pad. And let me paint you a scenario. I'm sorry that I kind of, like, dropped Spider-Man here for a second. I got into a rant, but the stream's not necessarily always meant to flow like a video. I'm gonna have random moments where I just stop in the middle just to talk to you guys. But, like, let me give you an example. So, if you're playing, and you're playing as Laura, right? You're playing as Laura, and you're trying to move. So you think that you would move, like, with a 360 movement. So you try to, like, naturally move, but keep in mind you're playing with a D-pad, right? So you're trying to move with a D-pad with Laura, right? And you're trying to move around, and you want to, like, make micro adjustments. You want to just basically just spin, like, in a circle like this, right? You just want to spin, and then you think it'd be easy. The problem is that trying to use a D-pad, you do, like, diagonal-ish movements. So, for example, if you hit left, you don't do, like, a diagonal left. You just make a full left, like, you make a full, like, half turn. Like, you completely just stare directly left. And you can't do a diagonal. So, like, for example, here's straight on. Here's completely left. Completely turned around. And then completely right. Let's say you want to make a diagonal movement, like in a modern 360 game, like a game that's in 3D. Let's say you want to go diagonal, like, upper left this way, or diagonal upper right this way as an example. You can't do that. So what happens is that if you want to try to make a jump that requires almost exactly a diagonal movement, you would have to, like, back up. You have to, like, there's, like, a jump backward button. There's a flip button where you flip forward, and you can flip in any direction besides diagonal. And so what happens a lot of the time is that if you want to get a jump that you would have to otherwise get at a diagonal angle, you can't turn around because you're going to be stuck within a plane that doesn't allow for it. So the way you do it is you have to, sometimes as far as, like, several steps back. Like, let's say, like, let me paint you a scenario. There would be jumping scenarios, right? Where you have to, like, parkour. And keep in mind, these parkour instances, these specific places that you go to, the floor would break. So it's time sensitive. So try to make a very jank-ass game have precision movement in nanoseconds. This is why it gets infuriating. So you try to jump up, like, these floating ledges. Like, they're basically just inanimate floating objects. There's no reason to explain why they're floating. But you try to jump on them, and you kind of try to go in, like, a circle. Like, you try to go up in, like, basically a staircase formation, right? But every time you jump on one, you got, like, a second or two before it breaks. And if it breaks, you can't put it back. And there's no, like, retries either. Unless you completely restart the campaign all over again. Which, in my head, is, like, not an option. Because I was already getting frustrated on the prior steps. Even though this one's the most infuriating in all. And I don't want to restart this. I especially don't want to restart the whole fucking level. So you can see where the problem's coming in here. The problem is that if you want to make a precise movement on the fly, you have to just know how the controls go. So what happens is that if you don't know the button controls and have them by fucking memory, you literally will always fall no matter what you do. You can't just be like, boom, and now I'm just going to make a little micro adjustment with my thumb, and now I'm right in the exact spot I need to be, or back up or forward or sideways or whatever have you, and then jump. Make a little micro adjustment. Maybe you don't even have to. You can just already be pre-lined up, and you can just keep jumping and jumping and jumping. in Tomb Raider, there was instances where I would jump, and immediately I would have to, like, back up, turn completely to the right, shimmy to my left, walk forward a little bit, backflip, and because I backflipped in the way that the camera is, like, hovering behind you because it's a third-person game, it would jam the wall up, which would make it either where you had a 50-50 shot of being able to be perfectly lined up with your next jump where you can't fucking see it all, and then you can go for it. So I want to get into some of these older games, whether it be the NES, the original Xbox, the PlayStation 1, whatever have you. But depending on certain select games, I might just be skipping some installments in a series because some of them are so fucking annoying in a modern setting. Like here's the thing. Crash Bandicoot, Tomb Raider, Tony Hawk, Metal Gear. I bet you all these games were great for the time. But they've aged so fucking poorly. At least some of them have. Like, for example, I would never recommend to you Tomb Raider 1. Ever. Ever. Get a remaster. The original, fucking unplayable, man. Tony Hawk, you can get to it, but it's remastered. Just get it on next gen anyway. Crash, I'm pretty sure it's remastered, but this one's at least fun, so get this. And then I have no idea about Metal Gear. But you know what I mean. Spider-Man also, by the way, the Spider-Man PS1 game, that's my favorite, though. Definitely get that one. Whew, okay, so I had a fucking rant there. Whew. I don't know how long that went, but that must have went like 20-odd minutes, because it's almost 7:30. Jesus. I apologize, guys. Sorry, but I had to... I had to clarify that. Who knows, maybe one day we'll all play those series, but, if we do those for a walkthrough, I'll tell you I'm not playing the old ones.
Of the bacteria. I'll get rid of them. Great thing about barrels, they don't shoot at me. The downside is, I don't think these barrels appreciate my quips.
And my favorite Spider-Man suit, favorite ever, like storyline-wise, in terms of this game, probably would say both storyline-wise and gameplay-wise, it'd probably be the one that looks like the old Spider-Man suit from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movies. The old movie suit from the early, like, 2000s, that's probably my favorite, at least cosmetically-wise. Because I grew up in so many different Spider-Man generations, like, because I was a 90s kid. And I just think that Tobey Maguire has some of the best Spider-Man stuff, just because that's what I grew up with. These other suits are cool, but I like the more clean original one that was from my childhood.
Come on, fishy fishies. This is good for you. This is why I never had an aquarium.
But yeah, see how there's the little green blips? If this was a PS1 game, they would just be like, just spray it over the water until you find it. And you only have a limited supply, so if you mess up, you have to restart the whole level. that would be the PS1 game. Oh yeah, and you also have like jank-ass controls that feel like you're playing while you're drunk while you're sober.
Okay, time to find a spot to scan my finny friends and make sure they're cured. All clean. Well, by the standards of the docks. We stopped an outbreak before it started. It'll be tough for Oscorp to argue this station isn't pulling its weight.
I think because of my rant, I'm not going to have enough time to do the main story mission, so I do apologize, but like I said, I'm not trying to, like, cram in so much stuff, you know, that's, like, overwhelming. We're just doing this at our own speed. I'm just doing it for fun. So I don't think I can do this one because I'm probably not going to get ground pound before the end of the video. So we'll probably just do that at some point later on. I just got to remember to buy ground pound. But we got 2, 3... Yeah, I got 4 left. If I can get these other 4, if it'll let me, I'll do them. So we basically almost got them all. And then we also did do some side quests today, so that's pretty cool. Computer's charged, phone's good. These are all good. Okay, cool.
I've been a fan for like years.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can get these in the last 30 minutes.
Hey, pal. This station tests particulate matter in the air. Now, you'd probably have some science jargony way to say this, but basically, too much is not good.
Readings are troubling but inconsistent. The only way I'll figure out what's going on is to test nearby emissions. But I've got other problems. The sampler's detecting toxic particles. Better check it out.
I wonder if we'll find out anything about Harry by the time we're done with this. Or if we have to wait until the
That
normal
steam
main
vent's
part
a
of the
good
story.
place to start.
Oh, we're hacking into it. Okay, so it's one of these.
There's something in here that doesn't belong. Let's analyze it.
You know, they keep doing this particular puzzle. Whatever happened to the one puzzle, or even any of the other puzzles for in general? Like there was the maze one, and then there was the another one of these that was really cool. But I really want them to like mix up what they're doing in here to like try to analyze these puzzles. Like why does it gotta be like a certain way? Like can't they mix it up a little bit? You know? Does this get rid of the one I think it does? No, it gets rid of the other one. And this. Cool. Actually. Just be better just to do this. Damn it. Don't have any other pieces. I'm gonna have to switch some of them out. Like this? No, it's slightly off. So you have all the trophies without Good Guy Nick. Yeah, Good Guy Nick is the last one I need. I got Ghost of Christmas Present on accident by playing with random, so that's just how I'd figure I would get Good Guy Nick one day, because I never knew about the achievements until it was too late. Like, I know that they had an opportunity to get it during the last stand update, but I missed it, so... Because I had no idea it was a PC exclusive achievement. I never thought to look in there for exclusive ones. So yeah, that sucks, but if you ever know a guy to be able to help me get it, that'd be very much appreciated, G. I've got to mix them up again in the order. that, I got it. Ha. Wait. Damn it. Damn it. I think I have to have this one to proceed to the one on the right. I need 3 skinny lines on the far, far right. Let me look at the ones I have, though. Yeah, because it's time sensitive is what it is, because Valve doesn't have that many open free-to-play days for Left 4 Dead. They just make the price cheap. What about this? That does it. Wait. Shit. Ah, see, I can switch this over and complete this, but then I can't complete this. I think this is the only way you can do that one. I don't know how else you would do it. What do you like about Tank Playground? I just love the challenge of the sandbox. Just basically just seeing how long you can outlast the tanks. That's funny to me. It's crazy. It basically makes it like a cluster F. See, I need to figure out how to get 2 in the middle of that one, because that's like a double line thick, and then get one on the right. But if I do this, I mess up the other one. If I... Yeah, the invisible one, the way that this falls, you have to have it on the left one. I don't see how this would work on the others because it needs this. Because the other one needs also double, especially. It's just, I don't know how to proceed. Wait. Damn it. If we're stuck too long on this puzzle, we're not going to complete every challenge, but I want to see if I can try to do this as legit as I can. Yeah, just reset it. Oh, it doesn't reset the design? Oh, you get stuck with the design no matter what. Damn it. It's like, boom, got that. And then... I have no idea how the fuck you get this one. Here, let me try to solve the complicated one first. You know, let's try to solve the very right in the middle one. Because that's the one that's messing me up, and then we'll see what with what we have left over if we can complete the other piece. You know? So there we go. And then... this. No. Wait, I almost had one. Okay. And then... boom. Boom. Oh, wait, I'm close, though. Fuck. Ha! Got it. Okay, so I had to get the complicated one first.
Bonded with something else. I can't tell what. This obviously isn't confined to one building. A lot of people are at risk.
That took a fat minute. I hope there's not really that many more puzzles left. Oh, God. I opened my big mouth.
Let's see what a sample from this can tell me.
I don't want to do any more of these. Okay, at least this one doesn't involve minusing. This is just adding in general. Don't want to do math. Oh, that was just on accident. That was on complete accident. I
Nitric
just
acid in
guessed.
there too, but also something else.
I'm not
I'm on the
complaining.
right track. Just need to keep following the trail. This is more widespread than I thought. The whole neighborhood's in danger from this.
It's gonna have us do puzzles. This one in particular, I can just tell. Alright. Alright, we'll do a puzzle one last couple of few.
That stinks to high heaven. Time to find out what's in it.
Oh, this is the last one? Okay, good. Thank God. If I put on this one, then... Ha! Okay.
Ethanol.
Ethanol.
Why is this sounding so familiar?
Wasn't this... Wait, I think I know who this is.
Mercury with nitrogen and ethanol.
This Green Goblin?
Gotta get back on the trail. When this is over, I'll alert the health department so they can check on the local residents.
Seems like his toxic gas. I don't think it'd be a modern interpretation of Green Goblin, could it? Oh shit, here's the source.
I think I found the problem. Caustic chemicals are leaking out of those barrels and into the plumbing. Need to clean up the site fast. Huh. The calcium and silicon in concrete makes it an ideal absorption material. Looks like I'll have to make a mess to fix this mess. One down. Nice, it's working. Breathing this stuff in, not good.
Just don't breathe then, hold your breath. Why is that in any mission where it involves you, like, trying to not get poisoned, you can't just hold your breath?
Sealing the grate with webbing should stop any residual
It's like the
drainage.
one time I heard Phase Jeff say, if you're getting flashbang, just close your eyes. Do not have eyelids. Got it.
That could have been way worse. Harry's research station just proved
Yeah,
why it
same
needs to
here,
stay
G.
open.
Fallen Survivor is good. It's the only one that gives you loot. That wasn't my favorite mission, but here's hoping we can continue these last couple with the 15 minutes we got left and make it worth our while. We didn't get stuck too long, though. Thought we were going to get stuck for a lot longer. Thanks for sticking with me the whole entire way through, by the way, Vader. I appreciate you.
Hey, Pete. So this station monitors water pressure down to the individual building. Structures above 4 stories use water towers to augment the city's system. The idea is to identify problems before they spread. You know?
Whoa. The pressure in this building.
I hate the riot gear ones.
I need
The
to
riot
find out
gear
why.
zombies annoy me.
The water towers connect to the city's system at the 4-story mark. I'll scan the pipes, try to see where this starts. Pipes are fine up here. Whatever's causing this, it's lower.
Here? Yeah.
Here's the problem. Valve's at the wrong setting. Easy enough to fix.
That's it?
That shouldn't have happened. I better seal these fast before Jameson pins it on me. Got it. Even better than duct tape.
I like even if it does give you a time limit, you can at least earn more time. You know?
Just call me the amazing spider plumber.
Where's the leak, ma'am? Ma'am, I do my own plumbing.
Voila.
If anybody else knows that video, you're a legend.
Just in time. All fixed. Nailed it.
Alright, one more left. Yeah, we got plenty of time.
Got it. Last
You
one.
don't even have to even be that
Those
perfectly
won't hold
accurate
long.
either, which is great.
Pressure shouldn't be that high, unless the drainage is blocked. I'll check the outlet pipe.
Oh, is the pipe gonna be
The outlet
blocked like it
pipe's
was in
down by the
Miles
waterfront.
Morales on that one
I'll
mission?
go see if anything's blocking it. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yep, it's that same
I
exact
better
pipe.
clear it before something bursts. Now I ask, how many other heroes fight crime and fix your shower? But now Oscorp can't deny Harry's station stopped the public utility meltdown.
Let's go. Alright, next one. Yes, I'm talking about those on the Parish, and that and Coldstream. Yeah, the Riot Gear zombies, I could go without those guys. I hate how you have to just shoot them only in the back. Because the only time you ever really get an excuse to shoot them in the back is when you melee, and I don't really carry a melee build on me that much.
Attention all units. Masked suspects have hijacked a bus. Reports are coming from the Lower East Side. Over.
Yeah, that's gonna be difficult to deal with when I'm trying to do the montage clips. By the way, speaking of the montage for Left 4 Dead, Vader, did you hear about that? Are you gonna be participating in the community montage? I said for 2,500 subscribers on YouTube, I want to do a community montage on Left 4 Dead, where in Versus and Back 4 Blood and Left 4 Dead, I show all of our highlights. Curious if you're gonna participate in that, G.
This station's simple, but really important. It measures toxins in the air, way more sensitive than anything the city has. Bad air hits children and the elderly first. This was a big one for my mom.
If his data is accurate, there's way too much sulfur dioxide in the air. I have a spidey hunch this is caused by inefficient engine exhaust. If I get some fresh samples, I can identify the make and model and report them.
So this is another toxic air pollution one. So it's one of the cars. Swing through the smog clouds. Yeah, it's another one of these.
This can't be good for me. Nice.
Just don't breathe while you're
Need
in
a
it.
few more samples.
Peter, just don't breathe.
Oh, that one smells. Just a couple more.
How would nobody catch on to this by now?
That's it. Phew.
Like, how would no one notice
Okay.
all that gas?
Looks like we have 3 guilty parties. I'll need to get pictures of them for proof.
So is it the model of the car or the person
Taking
driving the
pictures.
car? Oh, fuck.
Just like the old Bugle days. Life was so much simpler back
Asshole.
then. One down.
Yeah, that was a blurry-ass photo. Yeah, that's happened to me a couple of times. Not so much anymore, but it still occasionally happens. Happened a lot back in the day when I was playing on the console version still, because console was hard to sometimes get the zombies off you with the input.
And the hat trick. All set. That'll get a recall ordered, courtesy of your Earth-friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Alright, cool. So yeah, if anything, those guys will just get new cars. Sweet change. Alright, one more left other than technically the one that we can't do. Alright, cool. Yeah, because I think it's the only, yeah, it's literally the only one. Everything else has a check mark. Alright, bet. Alright, let's get this last one done, guys, and then we'll be able to wrap it up within the last 5 minutes. Happens to you sometimes? Yeah, I'd say that happens to everybody every now and again. It's a fair assumption to say sometimes. Not all the time, but just sometimes.
Backup requested near Trinity. Over.
Alright. I'll ignore the crime right now. I want to just take care of this. So even though we won't do all these technically in one episode, which we never have done, at least for this particularly, it's okay. We'll just do that one while I get ground stomp, and we'll just do it again some other episode. Though I figure that the side quest would probably take all day.
Hey, Pete. This station's one of my pet projects. I always thought the cellular network was vulnerable to terrorist attacks, so I set this up to monitor it. Can you do me a favor? Look for anything suspicious?
It's cool seeing the Wi-Fi flow through the earth
It's
like
not
that.
terrorists, but there's a glitch in the system that's causing interference. And if I don't fix it, it'll bring the whole network down. Right now, it's only affecting the most sensitive equipment.
I like how he like
mine.
manifests the Wi-Fi
I need to
air
stay
and like makes
outside
them
the areas of
visible. That's
interference
cool.
while I fix the cell towers. There. I
Avoid
set my
ban.
lenses to show
Wait,
me
avoid the
danger
ban
zone.
with scan as you
Gotta
go
fix
to the next
towers
cell
before the whole
tower.
city's comms go down.
Oh. Oh, his gear will
The size
shut
of the
down if
problem
I
area
land in the
fluctuates.
Wi-Fi grid area.
I need to be ready for a sudden change.
Peter, don't you fucking... We were just talking about not doing that! Jesus, Peter, you wanna die?
One down. But I'll need to fix 3 more to solve the problem.
Thought you would die if you
Then
fell.
I can use those helicopters to swing. So much depends on cellular networks now. A crash would affect police, hospitals. It'd be as bad as a blackout. Gotta hurry. Soon the whole system's gonna go.
So how the hell am I gonna hit the helicopter? Oh yeah, I'm swinging on them is what it is. Got you. Yeah, the world will go to shit
Job's
without
only halfway
Wi-Fi.
done.
We're so dependent on it now. I mean, we would make do, but it literally
man.
would be the
I
apocalypse.
wish there was a way to fix this for everyone except people who use their phones in movie theaters. The problem's getting worse. I'm running out of time. Invisible walls closing in. I feel like a mime. Got that one fixed. Bought me some time, but I can't slow down.
How many are left? I don't see a
Can't waste
timer.
a second. Getting to be a tight squeeze.
Oh, we're trying not to have the root. Ugh. Swing, Peter.
Let's not do that again.
Yes, swing on the helicopters, Peter. So yeah, those are hurting me now. They didn't before though, for some reason. Oh, and I can't go on the roof either, can I? Oh no. So I can't let the roof and the floor hit each other as much as I can't let it hit me.
Bam! Now New Yorkers can share their domestic disputes on the subway again. And emergency services are safe, which is, also important. If
Okay,
the
here
network
we
had
go.
crashed, it would have cost Oscorp a bundle to fix their comms. They'll want to keep this station up and running. Harry's project should be safe.
Nice. That's it. Cool. Any more campaigns have a cliff or water? Not that I can think of that have designated water other than Coldstream. And as for a cliff... A cliff? I mean... There's that one hilly area in Dark Carnival on the first chapter when you're trying to get to the carnival. When you're trying to get to the actual like carnival, how you go up the hill from the swampy area. That might be considered a cliff, but no, not really. I can't think of one that like comes to my mind. We did this literally just in time. Sweet. Yes. So yeah, guys, that's basically gonna be it.
Folks, I
Let's
have
just let Jonah
received
get his last message in before we take
unsettling
off.
reports of Spider-Man in our public parks, where
Wouldn't be a
children
walkthrough
play,
without him cutting me off.
apparently stalking pigeons. Yes, wild
We're
pigeons.
going
I
back to
wonder
the
if he's
pigeon thing
gone
again,
insane.
Jameson.
A perfectly valid question, but have you heard of the Goliath bird-eating spider? I'll spare you the gory details, but it's a spider big enough to devour birds. Now, Spider-Man sticks to walls like a spider. He jumps like a spider. What else does he do like a spider?
I hope that he never brings that up again, honestly. It was funny the first time, but any other time it's not going to be as funny. Alright, but yeah. That's going to be it for today's live stream / video, guys. I do hope you guys end up enjoying seeing Spider-Man Remastered, and if you did, please consider dropping a follow. It's always greatly appreciated. I'll let you know when I'm live streaming next. And then also, if you're watching this as a YouTube video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and all that beautiful stuff. I don't know for tomorrow's stream when it's going to be, because tomorrow I have a medical appointment at a really bizarre timing. Tomorrow I have a medical appointment that starts at 4 p.m., but however, though, it's, like, really far out. Like, I gotta do, like, an hour drive there and back. And, depending on how long the medical appointment is, I don't think I can make my stream if I do it at, like, a later time, like 7. Because, we'll probably get home at, like, my house at, like 8 or 9. So, I also can't really do a really long stream either beforehand, because if I try to stream at 2, I would have to end by 3, because you gotta at least leave by 3 to get there by 4. So, I'm in a bit of a pickle tomorrow, and I don't want to miss the stream. So, tomorrow's stream, guys, probably what I'll do is I'll probably just stream early from, like, noon to 3. It's probably the best thing I'm going to be able to do. If not noon to 3, maybe, like, 11 to 2, or, like, 11 to, 3, or noon to 2, who really knows. But I want to try to get something in tomorrow. Luckily, tomorrow's not a story day. It's not like a Spider-Man walkthrough, so if it's a shorter stream, I can live with that. But I do get a little bit upset when the walkthroughs are shorter, because I always re-upload those now. So I'll just let you guys know, and I'll keep you up to date. But yeah, guys, that's basically going to be it for today's stream / video. Once again, I hope you enjoyed, and once again, if you guys would like to support the channel, please definitely consider dropping a follow, like, comment, subscribe, and all that beautiful stuff. Vader, shout out to you. Thank you for watching the whole entire way through, man. I appreciate you, man. You're one of the G's because you were the most loyal, because right now you're staying here despite school, so I appreciate you, man. But you deserve some well-rested sleep now, or rest, so just go ahead and watch some stuff and just, do what it is that you need to do. Thank you for tuning in. And yeah, I hope you guys end up enjoying another live stream or YouTube video for the most unique content creator you guys are ever going to see. Thank you for watching, guys, and peace out.